On August 28th, America's largest rocket, the Delta IV Heavy, launched with the NROL-65 payload.
6, 5, 4, 3. We have ignition of the RS-68 engines. 2, 1, 0. We have liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Delta IV Heavy rocket carrying the NROL-65 mission to the National Reconnaissance Office.
Now, the NROL-65 payload stands for National Reconnaissance Office Launch, and then that's payload designation 65. Now, that doesn't actually mean it's the 65th payload, it just means that's the number they decided to give to this particular payload. It is a classified payload with optical imaging, and that's about all we really know about this particular one. The interesting thing about this particular launch, though, is that they've changed how the ignition sequence works. With the Delta IV Heavy, there's this traditional very, very large explosion right before launch as fires come up and lick the entire rocket. Well, this is due to the hydrogen burn-off underneath the engines, and as the fire ignites, all of that hydrogen explodes around the vehicle, creating this epic, epic scene as the Delta IV Heavy begins to leave the pad. In order to try to reduce some of that mighty explosion, United Launch Alliance decided to take one of the engines and fire them 2 seconds early. The idea being that not only will the sparklers underneath the vehicle actually help to launch some of that excess hydrogen, but also the engine itself will help burn off as much of it as humanly possible. Now, as you can see in the launch footage, it actually did help a little bit. The vehicle's not quite as scorched as it normally is. However, it is still on fire on the bottom near the engine, so not a perfect success, but still a lot better than before. And if United Launch Alliance likes what they see, they'll replicate this at their East Coast launch site as well. Speaking of launches, here's a list of what's coming up this week.